So my name is Jess. Hello, good morning. I'm going to be talking to you about, I'm going to be making an argument about the absence of a father, how it's harmful to children after a divorce. So when adults divorce, they do not seem to be conscious of how it will negatively impact their children's life. The rise of divorce is causing many children to be raised in single-parent households, which may cause them to grow up and have many psychological problems. Therefore, children might experience a downfall in their academic studies, less active social life, and feeling a sense of detachment from their parents, which may result with rebellious actions. My two supporting claims for this is going to be how it negatively affects boys and how it negatively affects the girls. So a wide array of emergent problems has been observed in children of divorce. According to many psychological studies, such as those of McBurnett and LaHaye of University of California in San Francisco, children from divorced families have higher incidence of behavioral and learning disorders due to factors such as lack of parental presence, discipline, and guidance during key developmental stages in life. According to Amato and Keith, meta-analysis of University of Alaska, in most cases, the father is the one that is not in the picture, and it will make the child feel unimportant and deserted. When parents divorce, it almost feels as if the children are going through one as well. They feel as if they have to choose sides, which can cause a strain in relationships between both parents. A child-parent relationship after divorce is usually very difficult. Children's ability to trust their parents become pretty low. After a period of time, contact between both parents tend to decrease. The emotional detachment may become indefinite. According to Marlowe and Booth, they state in their study, a prospective study of divorce and parental-child relationships, that reaching adulthood does not improve the strained relationship between parent and their child. So even when you get older, it's not going to make the relationship better. It's still going to stay the same or decrease more. Adult children of divorced parents feel less affection of their parents, have less contact with them, and engage in fewer intergenerational exchanges of assistance than do other adults. Children's relationships with their parents after a divorce often decline. This often creates a detachment between both parents. According to Bertham, McKay, and Rollinson, professors of social research, the frequency of parental separation and changing adult partnership means that decreasing numbers of children have fathers who live in different households from mother and child. After parental relationships break down, few fathers end up with being with the parent or living with the child after divorce. According to a study done by Furstenberg and Nord, Junior Department of Sociology in the U.S., a number of studies reported that over half the children whose parents separated lost contact with their fathers completely by 10 years after separation. 1 in every 5 children see their father weekly. So my second claim is going to be how the divorce affects the boys. Boys and girls have different expressing their emotions towards divorce. Boys generally tend to be more violent and rebellious, while girls, on the other hand, tend to be more active sexually at a very early age compared to those who come from an intact family. For boys, the degree of parental involvement is directly corresponded with academic performance in boys. Fathers frequently set the enforced limits, helping their sons control their own behavior and develop an appropriate consequence. Boys are taught to be head of the household and to have the last word, as in wait till your father gets home. When the mother awarded custody, the father is often downgraded the role of second authority and withdraws another setting where he can again be top dog. An absent father can result in more aggressive behavior by the boys. Studies show that girls from ages 5 to 18 reported association between father absence and elevated risk for early sexual activity and adolescent pregnancy. They also report that girls whose fathers were absent before the age of 5 were particularly at risk. According to an author and inspirational speaker, Leanna Van Zandt, women who grow up without fathers often struggle with feelings of low self-esteem and unworthiness. Liana says that the role of father is to teach the daughter how to be in a non-sexual intimate relationship with a man. In fact, the first relationship a daughter has with a man is their father, therefore teaches her how a woman should be treated. However, if the father leaves, Liana explains that the daughter lacks the healthy model and often seeks to fill that void in a variety of ways. One way many fatherless daughters try to fill the void is through their willingness to settle down when it comes to finding a partner. They'll pretty much settle for anything. Daughters of single parents without father involved are more likely to marry as teenagers, have children out of wedlock, and get divorced themselves. Researchers have continuously proved the importance of role of fathers in their children's development. Fathers are important for cognitive and emotional development for boys and for girls. Fathers are important in fact, a child who has warm, loving, and involved father has been shown to have higher academic achievement, improved social and emotional well-being, and have a lower incident of delinquency, risk-taking, and other problems. That's it.
All right, Jess, obviously there's a lot of testimony in the presentation. You did a good job identifying the sources and presenting information on all of the supporting points. So I thought that was pretty solid. The organizational structure was a little confusing to me because it sounded like you were going to have 2 points, and then it actually turns out that you have 3. There's a background point that you spend a lot of time on. The secondary points, though, and the proposition. Did you take a public speaking class?
No.
Okay, now I'm wondering, because it sounds, I think I said this about a couple of other speeches, the language that people are using in several of the arguments make it sound like you're doing an informative speech instead of an argument. I'm going to explain to you how this happens, as opposed to, I'm going to prove to you that this does happen. And that's the way it is on both the main point that you have and the 2 points about, for boys and for girls. It's both phrased that way, which they're not declarative sentences. They're instructional sentences. You're telling us kind of an imperative that's going on there. I think that there's not a lot of doubt that divorce has a negative effect on kids. So that's not where there's a lot of controversy. The question is whether or not that damage, is there any way to compensate for it? Is it so substantial that we wouldn't want to, is it really better for parents to stay together even if they have those kinds of problems? I'm just trying to figure out, you're describing crappy stuff that happens to kids because of divorce and especially losing contact with their father, and I'm not sure that anybody would say that wasn't true. I don't know that there's a kid of divorce who doesn't feel exactly the way you talked about on a lot of those things. So I'm wondering, where's the inference that we're making here? We're getting a good description of what the data says that confirms probably what most people believe. If I was doing the response on this, I'd be asking myself, okay, so what grounds do I have? What is the contrary position? What is it that other people are saying about this issue? And I'm not sure I could find anything on this. So it seems to me like this will be one of those places where the refutation speaker is going to have to be trying to diminish or minimize what the claims are, as opposed to that there's any dispute on those particular things. If I was just listening to your voice, it sounds to me like you would be pretty confident and you're speaking effectively. But you are reading a lot, and I think you'll notice it when you watch the video. It's probably a little bit more than you think that you're doing. You do look up, and you do try to talk to the audience, but not as frequently as you probably ought to. All right, thank you.
I agree.
Jake.